Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about container gardening. Container gardening is wonderful, especially if you're a beginner gardener. If you have a little corner of a patio that's sunny, a deck, a porch, a front porch, any place that you can put a pot, you can grow something, which is really exciting because we want to embrace our inner farmer, right? Like I said before, we're all farmers if we're growing, taking care of, and harvesting, and we're eating what we grow. That makes us a farmer. So I want to talk about the different kind of pots that they have that are available to everybody. And what's great about pots too is they're movable. So say for instance, one part of the deck gets some shade, during the day, you can move it back over to the sunny side. So there's many different options. So there's things like this. These are typically known as nursery pots. They're plastic. You can see there's good drainage. And because they're plastic, no moisture will evaporate through the wall of this particular pot. There's more decorative things like something like this, you know, that you could use. It's also plastic and behaves in the same way. There's terracotta. This is not glazed. And what happens is moisture will evaporate through the sides. Now, plants like citrus love terracotta because they hate having their roots wet. Then there's something like this, which is glazed terracotta. And the glazed terracotta will act in the same manner as the plastic, where moisture doesn't evaporate through. Now, you can also see over here in the back, this is another fabric pot, and there's a cage attached to it. And so that's mainly designed for a tomato. And another container you can see right behind me is a raised bed. It happens to be on feet, and it's still a container. Just happens to be on feet and it's raised so that, it makes it easier to deal with. Then they have these kinds of grow bags that are very mobile, that have handles on them, so they're easy to move around. So there's so many different options, and people get really creative with the containers that they use. I've seen people, take bathtubs, right? As long as there's a drainage hole, they make something out of it. I've seen somebody use a wheelbarrow and they put in the front lawn and they fill it up with flowers. So anything that has good drainage can be a container for you to grow whatever it is that you want to grow. One thing I want you to think about too is in your climate, in your zone. Like for instance, black in a southern climate may make the soil inside heat up too quickly. So you want to think about that because you don't want to burn the roots. If it gets really hot, you could burn the roots. So in my area where I live in 6B, that's not typically a problem, but it's something that you should consider is the color of the pot and also the size, what you're going to plant inside the pot. Make sure it's adequate and has the room that you need. Another thing is about these fabric pots, these also allow moisture to wick out, which is really, I personally consider it a plus. And then the other thing is the roots don't really get root bound in here. And so that makes it really good too. Also, smaller pots are going to dry out faster than larger pots. So you need to check the water in your pots all the time to make sure that they're adequately watered. Sorry about that. So now I want you to plant. I want you to grow something. Start small, right? Don't get overwhelmed. Start with leafy greens or herbs or some smaller variety plants such as bush beans, bush cucumbers. Think about what it is that you like to eat and look for those varieties that would work well in a pot. Now, I want to talk to you about soil. So I have two different soil brands here that I want you to compare and contrast. I'm not trying to disparage any brand. I'm not affiliated with any brand, but I think it's important that you understand and know what it is that you're buying. Now, this one says it's for seed starting. All right, that's just Miracle Grow. And then I have another one that also says it's for seed starting. Now, if we look on the back, Coco Core, processed forest product, perlite, gypsum, and fertilizer. All right. Then this one says that it has Coco Core, peat moss, perlite, fertilizer, and that's it. So I have a screen here, and I want to screen both because I want you to see the difference of what happens when we screen them. So, okay, this is the one that said it had the perlite, peat moss, cocoa coir, and fertilizer. So if I screen this, you're going to see that I'm left with some larger particles. So for seedlings, that's really challenging for them to get through if they're underneath one of these particles. But overall, this is a high quality mix. So you really probably don't have to screen this one, and you'll probably do just fine. And it's also fine for putting into pots. And all potting soils that you buy are appropriate for pots. And that's the other thing. Do not put soil from the yard into a pot. It's too dense, it doesn't drain well, and you're not going to have good success. So you really need to buy a potting mix to be able to put into the pots. Now, this is the one that says it has some forest product in it. So I want to show you what happens here. Let's get this crumpled up a bit. Look at all of this that's left behind. I mean, ginormous pieces. Now, if you're starting seedlings and you don't screen this, your seedlings are going to struggle in something like this. Now, it's perfectly acceptable to put into a pot outside and you can transplant a seedling into it. They will do just fine. But to start off a seedling, see, it could be a challenge for them. So I want you to understand what it is you're buying. Read the ingredients. It's really important. Now, let's talk about fertilizing. So you have a pot with soil in it, and every time you water, nutrients are being leached out of that pot. So that means you have to return some of those nutrients back to the pot. So what I do is, during the growing season, when I first put it in, I take some granular fertilizer, very neutral, 333, 444, 555, whatever it is. Even if you do a 345, you know, if the numbers are very close together, you're fine. And I put in a granules fertilizer and I put it into the top layer of the soil and I work it in with my fingers. And then I do that about once a month during the growing season. Another thing that I do is I use fish fertilizer. So this is Neptune Tomato Veg 242. And I will dilute this in water and I will water the pot first with regular water. And then once the dirt is saturated, then I will put in the fertilizer. Because if I put it in while it's dry and the water starts draining out of the bottom, I'm going to lose the benefit of putting that in. So I do this once every 2 weeks during the growth season. So you can't just put your plant in the beginning of the season, even though the potting mix that you buy probably says it has some fertilizer in it, but it's really a low level of fertilizer and it will not last the entire growing season. So in order to invigorate your plants and make sure that they're going to grow healthy and bear a lot of fruit for you, it's important to feed them. That's basically what you're doing. You're feeding them, and they need the food to be able to be healthy and produce what they need to produce. So I hope this is helpful, and you know, farmer on and make me proud, and then tell me in the comments what you've grown in pots, what successes you've had, because I love to hear that. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.